Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your local Mr. Mysterious. I know it's been so long since the last time I made a video. A lot of things have changed since the last time that I think that, I made a video on YouTube. And a lot of things have changed on YouTube as well. It's kind of part of the reason why I've been off of YouTube. But also, even more on top of that, I have no idea what to do with this channel. There's so many things that I personally love to do and I love to experience and enjoy that I feel that I'm all over the place, and a lot of people don't really like that. They like one kind of image or thought. So I kind of figured this one just to be a little fun, little YouTube video. Why not? So because I work at a record shop, I decided to do the top 5 common questions that we get as record employees. We get quite a few different questions that come around my way, but these ones are usually the ones that are the most common. There's no specific order or anything like that. It's just, these are just top 5 common questions. People just ask these questions whenever they're at the checkout. But yeah, here we go. I got them all written down right here. Nice piece of paper, all smart. No wonder why YouTube's not paying me. One of the most common questions that I get is what should be my first turntable? And there's quite a few different videos on YouTube that show you kind of like the different ways and stuff like that, or the different type of turntables that you should get. My friend Matt from Too Many Records, I'll leave a link to his channel below. He has a really great YouTube series, so focused on records and vinyl. For me personally, my first turntables were admittedly the Crosley Cruisers. It wasn't even just the Crosley Cruisers, there were also the Fisher-Price turntables. When I was younger, especially when I was younger, we had the Fisher-Price turntables, and they had the Disney records that would come along with them, and that was my first turntable. So it was more of like I wanted to get an all-in-one kind of scenario, so I got a Crosley Cruiser. But after doing a lot of research, after finding out a lot of different things, admittedly I did have one again recently for a short period of time. It was because I was moving away. I didn't really want to spend any money on a really good turntable, because I thought that I was going to be moving away, and so I ended up just giving a hand-me-down turntable, which I was okay with at the time. I tried to get as much different stuff for it as possible, just enough to be able to get it to play the records decently, somewhat, the maximum it can do. Anyways, luckily enough to say I've way upgraded. I wouldn't say to like the highest level of sorts or anything like that, but I've way upgraded. I have right now an Audio-Technica LP60. Now, a lot of people will tell you this is a really great beginner's turntable, and I 100% agree with them. It is 100% a great turntable. Fully automatic. You don't even have to manually drop the stylus onto the record. It does it for you. You could stop it as well. It's got a built-in preamp. There's other ones that they have of the LP60 that are Bluetooth capable as well. Those ones are pretty awesome, but for me, I just personally like the speaker cables. I like the wires and everything. I'm a big fan of that. I am planning on upgrading the speakers. The speakers are not gonna be the be-all or anything like that. I have some speakers in mind that I'm looking to get upgraded to. I just need to wait and save the money for that. But anyways, that's kind of more like where I would say, if you're a beginner and you want a decent setup, like a decent beginner setup, for sure the LP60 is a really great way to start. That's always where I would start, and I'm sure a lot of other people would start as well. Don't get a Crosley Cruiser, you guys. I've studied up more than enough on this. They destroy your records. Please, just if you're going to get a record player, just invest in a decent quality record player. Please do not get a Crosley Cruiser. You're not gonna have a good time. It's not gonna be fun. Quite a bit of different people ask me the question of, how did you get started working in the record shops or the record business? That one's a little bit of a longer story. I think that one can kind of be a story of its own, a video of its own. But long story short, I've been living in LA all my life pretty much, except for a short period of time where I was living up in Lodi as well, and up in Humboldt for a quick second as well. I was living here in LA, and there was a record shop that just opened up. It was called Vortex Vinyl on Los Feliz Boulevard. The business is out of business now. I'm okay with that. I don't personally care for the business, to be honest with you, and I'm all right with that as well. I went in and I applied, and I just told them about how vast my music knowledge was and how much I really wanted to work in vinyl and everything, and I wanted to kind of like step in and try to become a part of the vinyl community even more. So I ended up getting the job, and I ended up pricing vinyl and everything, which was great for a quick second, and then the owner just lost his mind. He all of a sudden just let go of everybody and hired a bunch of brand new people. I just kind of moved on from it. I was like, okay, that's just cut my losses, and then now I work at where I work at, and I personally am a much happier, in a much better like position than I was with that owner. Good riddance. Another question that I get, which would be question 3, is what is the most expensive vinyl that you have seen or own? Now, owning wise, I got one record that I know is, for me, that's expensive because I didn't expect for it to go up to that price. But hang on one second, let me just show you. This is Under Oath. They're only chasing safety. This is when they did their 10-year anniversary, or I forgot which anniversary it was, but this was my friend and I, Alan, got it at the Novo when we went to go see them, and he graciously enough bought this for me. So I 100%. I love you, Alan. Thank you so much for the record. He bought it for about $20 or so, and he gave it to me. Now I looked up online to see how much this record's going for. It's going for about over $120 or so on Discogs, and mine is still sealed as well. So as you can tell, right here. I don't know if you guys can tell that in the light or anything like that, but it's still sealed, which is apparently even more valuable for this record now because people really want this record for obvious reasons. The band is amazing, and I personally am a big fan of that band. However, the most expensive record I've ever seen with my own eyes at work has been hands down the Beatles Butcher album. I've seen about 3 of those now since I've been working there, and we sold them for about $2,500 each. Now those ones are really, really valuable to collectors, and people really seek after these, especially the one that we had, which was a USA Hollywood pressing of the Butcher album, which was even more, and in stereo as well, which was even more sought after. Your boy doesn't have money for that. Granted, I worked there and everything, and you know, I can be able to ask for certain things, but yeah, I am not asking for a discount on a $2,500 record, especially a Beatles record, which I love the Beatles, but oh man, I don't have money for that. I love you, George. George is my guy. Leave in the comment section below who's your favorite Beatle, because I got George Harrison. Hey, George, John, Paul, Ringo. And I met Ringo, kind of. He walked by me. I couldn't talk, so I just stayed quiet. Fucking Ringo. So for a lot of beginners, a really constant question that I get, especially when you're shopping in thrift stores, is how do you check the condition of the vinyl? And I got luckily enough a vinyl record right here that I could be able to show you. Now I did get this at work, and this is a duo of Showboat and Annie Get Your Gun as well, which is fantastic. I absolutely love both of these musicals. This is the record right here, of course. So what I always tell people is they always ask me, how do you check the record to be able to see if it'll play correctly or not? Now what I always tell people is always look for any kind of cuts in the grooves or any kind of like scratches or anything like that. Now if you see lint, that's easy cleanup. That doesn't take very long. But if you see any kind of like deep gouges or anything like that, that usually is a easy no. I don't want this record. But as you can tell from this record, it's just simply dirty. There's not really anything wrong with it or anything like that. If you ever need to check, because I've seen people, one of the biggest things that I don't like, there's two very big things I don't like. One, the plural for vinyl is vinyl. Two, do not put your hands on the grooves. I can't tell you how many times I've seen customers put their hands all over the grooves of the records, and this is with them not buying it. Please don't put your hands on the grooves. Like, you destroy the music and you destroy that opportunity for somebody else to be able to enjoy that record. So you can use the center sticker right here and be able to hold it from the bottom, like as you see here, like that. Or, you just hold it like from its side. But please don't put your hands on the grooves. Another thing to do also on top of that, see if it's warped. Put the record like this and spin it around. Try to see if there's any kind of warpage that's going on. As you can tell, this is perfectly straight. It's a really great record. That's why I bought it. Now the last one, I get asked this one quite a bit actually. This is one of the most asked questions that we get as record store employees. How much vinyl do we own in our collections? Now, every one of our employees owns a different amount. Some of them own literally half the store in their apartments. I myself, I used to own quite a bit of vinyl actually for quite some time. I owned about 3,000 vinyl, which was not good because it was taking up a lot of space, and it was on the ground everywhere, and it was just not a very good situation as far as to be around my apartment and whatnot at the time. Luckily now I have a lot more space. But I have